Hi, I'm Jamie Arkston. I'm a lecturer here at the Robert Gordon University in the Sutherland School of Architecture and Built Environment. I am going to be the course leader for the new interior design course starting in September 2025. There's a long list of things that students will learn, and some of the main aspects is firstly going to be kind of the software aspects. So we're going to teach you the skills that will allow you to design and present your own ideas. We'll also teach you lots of meta skills, so that might be working collaboratively with a team. It might be actually standing up and presenting your work to whether it's your peers, university lecturers, or maybe even your clients. Community at RGU is extremely supportive, caring is how I describe it. I once was a student here on the architectural technology course, and then came back and have done some ad hoc teaching, and then more recently back as a full-time member of staff. And I wouldn't have done that if it wasn't a community that I wanted to be part of. So very caring, very supportive. We'll get to know each individual student extremely well. We spend a lot of time with you over the duration of the course. Most classes are full day classes as you begin to learn, so we get a lot of opportunities to sit down with each student and learn lots about you and lots about your personality and your design skills, for example. And that works both ways. The students will learn lots about the lecturing staff and the support staff. So kind, caring and supportive community here at RGU. So the campus here at RGU is amazing. I'm really fortunate to be based on the banks of the River Dee. So we stretch over about a 20-minute walk up the banks. So lots of green spaces to go and relax in, providing the weather allows it. We've got state-of-the-art buildings and state-of-the-art kind of faculties for each discipline. So up in Grey is a really impressive building up there that's got lots of studio space, really interesting workshop areas. Down here at Sutherland School, we've got large open plan dedicated studio spaces with really impressive workshops, digital fabrication areas and IT suites. We also, between all that, have a very impressive library, a very impressive sports complex and a number of different food and coffee outlets, which is important to both staff and students. Yeah, so the collaboration between the two schools is going to be really quite interesting and a great opportunity for both schools and the students who are doing it. So we're already well underway with creating space within the schools for our new students, but also within each of the modules that students will undertake, there's going to be a flavour of both schools or staff involved from both schools. And this is a real strength to the course in terms of having all the architecture and built environment courses kind of housed in one area and all the arts in another area. This is the perfect opportunity to merge these. Yeah, so the sustainability is built into essentially every module from the get-go, whether that's locally sourced materials, looking at embodied carbon, or maybe how we even recycle or upcycle products is going to be a key focus. We also look at themes about circular economy, and second to that, we will also, across all our courses, focus on the design for accessibility and inclusive design. So that's kind of going to be introduced right from the get-go. We'll also look at things like AI, which is obviously ever developing. So we teach that within our courses and teach students how to use it responsibly. So there'll be a number of kind of big ticket items, if you like, that we will be focusing on that are kind of real world problems or real world solutions potentially as well. Yeah, so from the get-go, we will be training students in various different softwares, for example. That might be from a 2D side of things, such as AutoCAD, to 3D modelling, which might be SketchUp or Revit. We'll also then be transferring them into digital kind of fabrication side of things, so we might be doing some kind of modelling, and we will also then, as I've mentioned, be looking at how AI might support us. So in a number of different ways, whether it's kind of word processing or image generation through the use suite of different AI softwares. And so we've taken a big jump into AI and teaching students how to use it responsibly. Yeah, so year one, I'm going to say, is exciting. So an opportunity for us to get to know the students and the students to get to know us. Year one is broken into two parts essentially. So we've got semester one and semester two. Semester one runs from September to December. Semester two runs January through to approximately end of April. Within each semester, we're going to have two modules, so two 30-credit modules. So essentially 2 days on campus for each of those modules, all project-based, and we will then have a new theme within our school called Super Studio every Thursday, which is dedicated to extracurricular activities for staff and students. So that might be things like site visits or IT support days, or it might be guest lecturers coming in and talking about materials, for example. Thinking about those two 30-credit modules, they'll be taught over 2 separate days, and as I've mentioned, project-based. So often we'll have a portfolio of work at the end. So no exams within this course is the focus. So that's what's on the cards for a new stage one entering the new interior design course. Yeah, so firstly we're going to teach lots of the kind of software skills, and that's the kind of industry requirements, if you like, for jumping from that university setting into kind of practice or traditional practice. But the other thing is that we will focus on lots of meta skills as well. So how do you actually interact with the public? How do you interact with the client? How do you work collaboratively as a team? And this is a huge important factor entering industry, in that often you're not alone working, and that you may have to work with many different teams, different stakeholders, and often you need to tailor your approach to these things. So we're going to teach, as I say, lots of the dedicated kind of software skills, practical skills, but also these kind of meta skills and how you interact with people. Come and join us is the main thing. I think if you are curious, you want to know a little bit more about the world kind of around you, or the spaces around you, or if kind of drawing, material studies, model making, these kind of things slightly interest you, then we've got a space for you. But it also gives you a huge amount of opportunities. So you don't need to go down that traditional route of coming out of the interior design course and going straight into a practice that does simply interior design. It gives you so many more opportunities than that. So I think, like I say, if you're curious, if you're interested, if you want to learn something new, then come and join us and we can craft your journey together. So I'm going to say fun, interesting. You're going to gain lots of knowledge, software skills. You're going to begin to hopefully enjoy presenting. And the main thing is you're going to have a strong network behind you, whether that's the network of students that you meet here that become lifelong friends, or the staff that are here to support you on the next step of your journey.